really welcome everybody to come here. I'm going to start off and just talk a little bit about OFA and what we've done this past year. It's been kind of a different year as far as that goes, I guess. We're so used to doing so many in-person and live events and stuff, and so that changed dramatically this year. As you all know, we had to cancel the Paul Bunyan show. We had to put on a virtual camp canopy for our high school students. And it affected some other things too, including right up until today that we're holding a virtual annual meeting. So thinking about the fact that we did have to cancel the Paul Bunyan show, which is our major revenue generator for the association. We did suffer a kind of a bad year as far as the economics go, but we've been in good enough financial position over the last 7 or 8 years where we could weather a bad year like that. But it didn't stop what we were doing. So I want to talk about some of those things here this morning, just to give you an update on what the association's been doing, even though it's been a kind of an odd year. So one of the big programs that we run, obviously, is our Master Logging Company program. And we did have issues with our loggers chapters not being able to have in-person meetings and such. But it didn't stop us completely from doing some of our training, keeping our companies, going on that. So we actually increased our number of master logging companies this year, up 3 over the year before, and our master loggers, our trained loggers, are up from up to 200 over 194 the previous year. So, we were able to keep people in the program. We were able to get some new people in the program. One of the ways we had to do that was, to hold our training classes, our chainsaw and BMP training classes. We worked with our partners at the Ohio Division of Forestry, who still allowed us to use the state forest to do our training. Of course, we had to limit the sizes on our classes and follow all the proper COVID protocols. So, we were doing these classes in groups of 10 or less, but that still allowed us to get new people trained, allowed us to get some people some recertification that needed it. We had a lot of loggers this year wanting to go work in West Virginia, and we were able to provide them on small scale meetings with their West Virginia Logging Setup and Control Act training. A lot of that actually done in very small groups at the OFA office. And one of the things we did, we did not decertify loggers this past year that couldn't get the rest of the continuing education they needed, and we're working on those processes now to get that up. So thinking about that worked kind of into our chainsaw training. And we've done a lot of chainsaw training levels for a lot of different people. And we were down somewhat, and early in the spring, we canceled a lot of those classes or postponed them. But we still ended up in June being able to, as we mentioned before, start working on small level classes, small participant classes. And we actually ended up with 21 training sessions in 2020, training 285.
I'm not sure what happened to Brad. Is everybody else still hearing me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Just have to wait and see what's happening. He must have lost connection there in Zanesville. See if I can get him a call. But yeah, he just disappeared. Joys of technology, folks. We'll give him a little bit, and then I'm not sure the best approach, but maybe we'll just let Dan roll if we need to do that. But let me see if I can get a hold of Brad and just see what's going on.
He's trying to reconnect here. I'm not sure what happened, but it kicked him out.
Okay. I see him getting back on. We've done all kinds of practice sessions and haven't had this happen yet.
Now I'm seeing him twice down there.
Yeah, there he's back, I think.
All right, folks, sorry about that. Somehow I lost my internet connection here at the office, but we're back up and running. So sorry about the technical difficulties there. So public outreach is really one of the areas that we pride ourselves on, and that didn't, slow down at all last year. One of the first, things we got into there in the summer was actually working with some of our partners at Ohio State and Hocking College to develop some seesaw training videos that Dave was able to use for the virtual farm science review last year. Of course, we wrote a lot of articles for newsletters, some op-eds for NEPA regulations and EPA's cost benefit analysis proposal. Always trying to keep up with those type of things. We had an unfortunate situation where one of our loggers was killed in an accident. But some of the positive things that came out of that, we were able to actually work with that OFA member company and the Forestry Association to develop a safety alert that went out nationally, and hopefully will help other people on that. We completely updated our training manual for the Seesaw Level 1 and Level 2. We also increased our trainer capacity last year. And we've recently joined, well, actually, last year about this time, we joined forces with a lot of different partners, including Division of Forestry, Division of Wildlife, Soil and Water Conservation, some industry foresters, and others to start a complete update of the best management practices for logging in Ohio. So a lot of that type of outreach that we, continue to work on. But one of the things that we also always try to do is work with our members. When our members have questions, our members have issues, they call us, and we try to help them with those type of things. We can't always get every problem solved, every problem answered, but we do our best. So this past year, we worked with members and even some non-members on issues, including some OSHA citation negotiations, tree farm property that was trying to disperse their property to another entity. We've worked on carbon markets for our forest landowners, hunting lease potentials, logger complaints. We've had some timber theft concerns. And for a first time, I actually was contacted by a lawyer and some loggers that actually had a landowner taking advantage of the loggers. That's a first, instead of being the other way around. So working on a lot of different things like that. We're always working on other, local, state, and national issues. Local issues, we've always got things popping up with road use issues. And so I've worked with different county engineers' offices and loggers and foresters to work on those type of issues. Nationally, this past year, we partnered with the Forestry Association, the American Loggers Council, AF and PA to work on several things. Carbon neutrality for biomass being one, the Safe Routes Act legislation being another one, and of course, coronavirus relief legislation, including the American Logger Relief Act. So there's a lot of things like that we continue to work on. And another big one is the Real American Hardwood Coalition for the hardwood promotion. And I won't go into detail on that because you're going to actually hear from 3 of the members of that executive committee of that promotion here later today. So just a couple other things I want to mention before we move on here is some of the things for the, first off, let me go to our Master Logger program. I've mentioned a few things as we're looking forward here into 2021. We are going to be adding some new training opportunities for our loggers through Team Safe Trucking and some things with the Sustainable Forestry Initiative. We're currently in negotiations with a logger training contractor to bring some enhanced logger training opportunities to our loggers chapters. So that's some stuff we're going to be moving forward to. Of course, we're looking forward to having the Paul Bunyan Show live and in person this year. We're working towards that. As in last year, we will make a final decision on that probably in August, but all indications are that we are going to be moving that direction this year and be able to hold our world-class trade show again. Want to talk then just briefly on a few things with the OFA Foundation. So the OFA Foundation is our charitable contributions arm where we do a lot of our educational stuff. And so to that degree, this last year we had Camp Canopy is under that umbrella, and we had to do that virtually, but it went really well. Our partners on that, all of our Camp Canopy committee stepped up, provided some really good, some live and some pre-recorded video trainings for our students. So we had a lot of good people involved in that. We held our lumberman's outing. We didn't actually hold the outing itself, but we still raised funds through donations. And in this past year, we assisted the widow and children of the young logger that was killed in a logging accident earlier in the year with those funds. Couple last things here on our foundation activities. We also give out scholarships every year. This last year, we gave out 2 scholarships, one to Michael Bell and one to James Kelling, both attending the Ohio State University. As we move forward this coming year, the foundation's assets are in investments, and they've both done very well this past year. So we will be meeting with the foundation committee here in the coming month here to start looking at the availability for scholarships for the 2021. And we're going to actually have more money available this year than we have in the past to either offer more scholarships to individuals or more valuable scholarships to individuals this year. So that's kind of exciting. We're looking forward to that. And the other thing that we've done now for the last couple of years is given out awards through our conservation education grants. And this past year, we donated money to Forest Proud, to the Natural Resource Class at the Choctaw County Career Center, the Team Safe Trucking, to the 4-H Woodworking Day at the Ohio State Fair, the Hocking College Forestry Club, to the City of Chillicothe Parks and Recreation, and to Holden Forest and Gardens. A total of $7,500 was awarded for the second consecutive year. So with that, I'm going to close off a little bit of an update here on OFA. Most of you, all of you that are members should have received our annual report that details a lot more than what I did there today. Those of you that aren't members, feel free to give me a call at any time and ask questions about that, or become a member. Then you get those things automatically every year, along with a lot of other valuable information. So we're about ready to head into our first session for today. What I do want to, a couple other quick points here is we are going to be recording each session. And so these will be available on our website, probably on our YouTube channel, probably within a week after we get done with the meeting here. So that if you've missed something or you want to review something again, you can do that. And also, we will have most of these presentations in a format where you can get them on our website, probably in a PDF form so that you can look at them. So before we start here, I want to mention our sponsors. We do still have costs for this program, not as much as if we're renting a hotel and stuff, but a lot of our members have stepped up to sponsor our activities here today. So our diamond level sponsors for the annual meeting this year are Northwest Hardwoods, Superior Hardwoods of Ohio, Pixel Specialty Solutions, and Pixel Specialty Solutions, excuse me. Our platinum sponsors are Hazley Hardwood Lumber Company and Associated Loggers. We have gold sponsors in Yoder Lumber Company and A&M Kildry. Our silver sponsors this year, Southern Loggers Cooperative, TTG Forestry Services, Independent Stave Company, Domtar Paper Company, Shioga Hardwood Flooring, Powell Valley Millwork, Superior Hardwoods of Ohio, Rudd Equipment Company, and Mulliken Flooring. And we have 5 bronze level sponsors this year: American Wood Fibers, Hartzell Hardwoods, Ohio Cat, Woodland Doctors, and Bird Dog Consulting Forestry. So I want to thank our sponsors, and you'll get an opportunity to see more about them here later in the show. So with that, we're at 9:15. We're going to start our first session here for the day.